two world-class. Wow! Oh! Oh!
He's done! He's done!
Just out of range with the big right hand.
Oh, nice right hand. He got him. Wow.
Lands a big right hand early. Oh! Is the guard and protect his head.
He's doing a good job of keeping the guard high, blocking his head, making sure he's not taking those damaging strikes up top.
Oh!
He's in trouble. He's hurt bad. Nice punch lands over the top.
Lands a nice 1-2. Both guys. Oh!
Dude's hurt. Serve him up. Go get him.
Oh! Huge right hand! Oh! Oh, he might be out.
He needs to start looking to finish now.
Oh! Back to the jab now, no good.
Beautiful punch. Right hand punch to the clinch.
Well, I'm an identical twin, too. Is
Doubling up on the jab, and you see it.
looked like it did stun him a little bit.
Oh, he chased that finish down now.
Oh, he might be out. Oh! Yeah, looks a little wobbly on his feet. Oh, big left. Both guys landing at a pretty decent clip. Whoa!
The Bronze Bomber.
He's out!
The Brown Bomber, excuse me. I'm sorry.
My goodness, what a fight.
Yeah, that
The
was
Brown
just a
Bomber.
gorgeous shot to end the fight right there.
There you
I'm not
have
sure
it.
the opponent really saw it coming, so back to the
Coast
Boy.
You know. Yo, what's up, YouTube? It is your boy Chopper Slice, man, and you are now rocking with Coach Boy TV Fights, aka Chop and Tosh Entertainment. You know. Welcome to UFC 4. And man, we got a good one for you today. We have another legend from the 30s era through the 50s. He is considered probably by many the greatest that ever done it, other than Jack Johnson. In my book, he definitely is in my top 5 heavyweights. Maybe, might stretch it down on my top 10, but I know he's in my top 5 because I got a couple heavyweights I like, but I'm gonna have to put him in my top 5 out of respect. We got, should I say, Mr. Rest in Peace, by the way, Joe, the Brown Bomber Lewis. It is a pleasure and an honor, man. It is a pleasure and a honor. Man, this dude is a legend. For those who don't know who he is a heavyweight boxer from back in the day. I think his career was from like 34, 35, 36, somewhere through there, through like 50. Let's see. I want to say, I don't want to be wrong. I'm gonna have to say, let me say 55, maybe 57, or a little earlier than. No later than 52. No later than 52 or 53. No later. No earlier than that. Excuse me. No earlier than that. I just don't want to be wrong. Fighter type. It's gonna be boxer. Now I'm gonna tell you something, man. It says that his style. I was doing some research on him, and you know, I watched some video clips on him and documentaries through the years. You know, growing up and knowing about boxing and loving boxing, I mean, you tend to do that. And it said that his fighting style was minimalistic, which means he was patient. So conservative, I'm guessing, because he's a orthodox. So conservative puncher. I guess that's what you could call him. But what he does is he pressures fighters and pressures them to throw strikes and punches so he can counter shot them. because it was said that he was a very sharp counter puncher, man. So, and he was, man, and from what I've seen in my eyes, he fought two different ways. He would use his jab, mix it up with just a little bit of footwork, but that jab was hard enough to keep people at bay, and he hit him with that right hand in the uppercut whenever he could. And he could also end fight, which means that he would get up close, like, you know how Conor McGregor shoulder strikes people about that distance, you know. So he's like literally up that close, and he comes up with those hard chopping uppercuts, man. And I've seen him land those on a few great boxers from that era, man, and knock a few out. And he's had some legendary fights, man, some Hall of Fame fights. he was a beast at infighting, and he could fight at I wouldn't say he's a super distance fighter. I've seen him trail the ring a few times and stick his jab out, but he would always come in and end up right back in the middle and right there squared with his opponent. But I chose Powerhouse, but his real style, I would have to say, and I tried it out, Pressure, I would say, would be his real style. So if you ask me, I would go with Pressure because that's how he fought. But I like Powerhouse because I can be conservative on my own. But you know, when you get to the menu, it allows you to pick whatever style you would like to fight with. I feel they should add more styles to the boxing category. But let's go ahead and make male, of course. And this Joe Louis is based on the fight with him and Rocky Marciano. And he actually, this is interesting, man. And this is what makes this unique. He actually lost that fight, but it was such a good fight that I didn't care, man. He was a legend, and it was a good fight. And honestly, for real, it could have went the other way, but he did lose that fight. There was a few rounds he took a beating, but there was a few rounds he gave it too. And he went in weighing 207 pounds in that fight. Rocky Marciano, on the other hand, was a small heavyweight, man. He really, honestly, weighed light heavy to middleweight weight. He was no heavier than 190 pounds. No heavier. I say the heaviest he probably been maybe 200, maybe. But he was no heavier most of the time, from far as I know, than 190 pounds. And me saying 2 is on a guess. Maybe that's that slight chance, that once chance that he was that weight. But honestly, it said that when I looked, Rocky Marciano was about 189, 85, somewhere around there. Between 85 and 89. Between 85 and 190. That's how much he weighed. And that's because I don't want to be wrong on, you know what I'm saying? I'm coming off with the best I can off my brain. But long story short, Joe Louis is the little bit of the bigger fighter. He was 6'2". Marciano was either 6 foot or 5'11". I think Marciano was 5'11". Nickname, of course, his first name Joe, last name Louis. Nickname, I named him Boom Boom because they don't have the Brown Bomber on here. So I put the Brown Bomber on his social media handle. Ain't this cool? Deontay Wilder is the Bronze Bomber, right? And Joe Louis is the Brown Bomber. Well, Joe Louis is actually Rocky Marciano's hero at one point, I think. Because Rocky Marciano, his nickname, from what I've looked up, was the Brockton Bomber. And he had some other little side names. The Brockton Bomber, he was from Brockton, Massachusetts, so he called himself the Brockton Bomber. So that's pretty tight. And Joe Louis, he was from like Kremlin. I think it was like Kremlin, something like that. Man, my throat, man, from where I smoke. Guys, don't ever smoke, man. It got that old freaking mucus in it. But he was from Alabama. But it said that when he passed away in Las Vegas. So I'm guessing that at that time, around the fight or whatever, he settled in Las Vegas and had a house there. So I just went ahead and put hometown. Las Vegas, and at the when he fought Marciano, he was 37. So thank you, baby. Take a drink. He was 37 years old, so that was pretty, you know. I'm not gonna say that Joe Louis was one of those fighters that never really lost his prime. I mean, there was, yeah, he kind of declined the older he got, but nah, he reigned. This is the thing. Joe Louis reigned champion for 12 years straight without losing, and he only lost 3 times in his career, and he knocked out 52 opponents and had only 69 fights. So he was a great, you know what I mean? And he reigned for 12 years straight without a loss. Orthodox. I gave him the Luke Rockhold stance. I feel like if his fist was a little bit more outward and more tight, like he was getting ready to punch, that would be the stance. But this is the closest to his stance. I call it the low Philly shell. But I mean, in his stance wasn't even a full Philly shell stance. Now, when he would get ready to go switch to defense, if he wasn't throwing that jab and he would switch to defense to brace for a punch, it would look like he was going into Philly shell mode. So I thought that was pretty cool, but it was his own style. So Luke Rockhold stance is what I gave him. Be quiet. I'm doing a video.
He don't care.
Jesus Christ, boy.
He don't care you're doing it.
My dog talks, man. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry I'm so like blah today, you know. Let's see. Let's get on with it. Hair 19 is what I chose. Now he had more of like a curly top. Now if it had that like hair shape on 19, but it had like that curls to it, that would be, in my opinion, the correct hair, especially the one he had in that fight. But he always had a shorter hairstyle, and yeah, I filled in the sides and things with tats, and we'll get to that. I said it did look a little crazy, but he always like had that like part, you know. That's not the correct part that he had in his hair, but I picked that because of the part and the hairstyle, so it's close enough. And it kind of, it's definitely the same length of his hair when he fought Marciano. Eyebrows 5. Now I'm gonna be honest on the eyebrows. If you want, the best bet would be to put your own eyebrows on, and I'll show you why. I picked these. Now imagine The Rock look, but you don't have an eyebrow going up. It's let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, if I pick that, right, I might as well show you real fast. And this is just my opinion, and I would have to work on it. I'm just going to show you real quick. I'm not even going to do it. I'm just going to quickly show you. If you do the eyebrows anyway, do them with this one. I would recommend it. The half moon or the quarter moon, crescent moon, whatever the hell. And you can use the real eyebrows if you want as well to like help you, and just fill them in with this right here. Now he kind of had like, they were kind of like at an angle, like kind of like, man, it's hard to do. It's hard to work with these things sometimes. Sorry about that, guys. All right. His eyebrows kind of like slanted like that a little bit, if you see what I'm saying. Like that kind of like slant to him. Like, you know what I mean? Like kind of like that. Like if he was going to do the Rock look, if you guys know what I'm saying. They were kind of like slanted like that a little bit, but they were in a better place. So that's what I'm trying to, you know, explain to you on the eyebrows, just so you would like will get it 100%. So basically what you could do is like kind of like, all right, yeah, kind of like right here, and you can just make them bushier. I think I'm gonna go back and do that myself, and you can just make them bushier, I'm gonna pick those, and I'm gonna go back because he had bushy eyebrows, but they just wasn't shaped like this. They wasn't shaped like that at all. So you know, they were shaped like this, and I'm gonna go back and work on it. So facial hair, it looked to me that he was clean cut, but I like to be realistic. I feel like a lot of men, especially back in the day, men were more mature than we were in those times. So you know, the old sayings, I was raised by grandparents, so the old sayings, the more mature you was, the more your body matured. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, I like to be realistic, and I always feel that, you know, somebody with a clean cut will have a little bit of scruff, and sometimes they don't, but that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I picked facial hair 10, but he really didn't have like a whole lot of facial hair. Now above his top lip, he had like a faded little thing going on there, like a little faded you know, trim above his top lip, a little bush above his top lip, and wasn't even like fully dark. So it's kind of like how you see right there, literally. So I just went with facial hair 10 for the outline. Now body hair, I didn't see body hair on him out of none of the fights that I watched. And you know, he had some legendary fights, man, with Jersey Joe Walcott, with Ezzard Charles, Rocky Marciano, Max Beer. I think he even fought James Braddock at one point. Max Schmeling, something like that. Max Schmeling, I think. He lost his title in 36 to Max Schmeling, but he ended up getting it back, I believe. But I never see no body hair, but I picked body hair 3 just in case. Cause I mean, like I said, that would seem realistic. And he might even had this at one point in time, especially the older he got. But I picked body hair 3. It's barely even visible. On the hair colors, on his head, black, eyebrows black, facial hair black, body hair it usually goes with the brown, but I picked black. That's just, you know what I mean, it's not even barely visible, man. He might have a happy trail or something, and that's normal. Template 17 is what I started it from. And honestly, template 17 as itself kind of almost has the facial shape that he has, but it doesn't. You have to switch around the what, I can't talk today for nothing. You have to switch around the features, you know, like the nose, lips, eyes. You have to play with that stuff and get it right. But let me do the 8-0 360 right here. My man always, I got that from him. Shout outs to 8-0. I saw your video the other day, man. You messing with Chuck Norris, excuse me, I said Chuck Taylor. Chuck Norris, and I see you knock out a couple dudes. That was pretty tight. Shout outs to Creative Player, man. Thanks for the love on my videos. Shout outs to my man Danny P. Love you, bro. Shout outs to Rhino. Shout outs to Michael Peterson. Shout outs to Anja Rampage. Shout outs to AB TV. Shout outs to Aki TV. You don't know shit about boxing. Not saying you don't, bro. I'm just saying that's your slogan. That's your Logan. Your slogan, excuse me. See, I can't talk. Shout outs to everybody that show me love, man. Marshall Mine and many more. I always watch you guys' content, man. Anja, Aiden, I watch all of their content. That's what got me doing this. So shout outs to those guys, and don't forget to hit that like button, by the way. Jab it, hit it with a jab, and make sure you uppercut it, because once you hit it with a jab, it's going to turn into a thumbs down. But when you uppercut it, it'll knock it back up, and it hit the either with a left hook or a right hook, the comment section. Let me know what you think about this video. I know I sound all sluggish and things like that. I guess it's where it's late and I'm a little tired over this part of the US. But yeah, man, let me know what you think. If you know me, I'm open to constructive criticism. You guys always show me love, so it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? If there's something that I need to change and you think, let me know and I'll work on it. If you don't like it, let me know and I'll try to make something you may like. You know what I mean? But I tolerate no haters though. So, but anyway, I love you guys, man. I do appreciate you guys, man. And I'm going to try to breeze through this because we talked a little. But like I said, man, Joe Louis, yes, he was the man. He was the man, especially in those times, man. I say he's after Jack Johnson. Well, of course he's after Jack Johnson, but I think his generation was like literally right there. Literally right there after it. Some very good fights, man. Joe Louis' style was very, very, very conservative. He was very patient, and he would buy his time. But while he's buying his time, he's gonna be stinging you with that jab and them other shots, them left hook, them short hooks, them chopping hooks. Like imagine how Evander Holyfield would throw his short chopping hooks from up close. That's how Joe Louis did it, but he was even closer, and he's letting them rip from like a closer, point in distance, but he can also fight from an arm's length distance too. And he had a pretty decent little reach, man. That's the thing. Like I said, Marciano looked up to him. People like Ali looked up to him. Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson might have been in that era, actually. Yeah, he came around in the 40s and 50s. Well, he may have been a little after. I gotta check that out. I have to check that out. I don't want to be wrong. Nah. Actually, yeah, let me see it real quick. I'm gonna go through it one more time while you guys copy. And yeah, Joe Louis, man, competed from 34 to 51. So that was pretty cool. And he was born in Chambers, Alabama. Chambers County, Alabama. But he died in Desert Springs Hospital. That's pretty tight, man. He also had a nickname, and his nickname was Chappie, it says here. You know what's crazy and interesting? I really don't, as I make these fighters, I don't look at pictures and videos like a whole lot. I glance at them, and then I'll go on to make them. And, no bragging or nothing, but.
He's middleweight champion of the world or something. Super middleweight champion of the world.
Max Schmeling.
He's 20-0, 12 KO.
What's his name?
This one, I don't know. Sweet hands.
Sorry about that, guys. Never smoke. Caleb Plant. Sweet Hands Caleb Plant is boxing on TV, guys. I'm gonna check him out. He's someone from this generation. And there goes the formula for him, man, for Joe Louis, guys. Yeah, man. Let's get the eyes, and then I'll get on the tattoos for you. Now, I picked Dark Hazel. That's just my own personal opinion. But he really had dark brown eyes. It looked like to me, or either light brown, one of the two, but they looked dark brown. Of course, a lot of his fights and a lot of pictures was black and white. But y'all know me, I like to be different, so I picked Hazel just to pick it. I'm actually go back with the light hazel. Now, the body structure, man, y'all know me, cuz y'all know I tell you, pick whatever, that's up to y'all, cuz, you know what I'm saying? But I will tell you this, in my opinion, and from how it looks to me. Sorry about that. And from how it looks to me, if you're gonna narrow it down to 3 of them, body type 5, 4, and 7 is what I would narrow it down. I picked body type 5 though. That's my personal opinion. Cause I mean, like I said, he had a decent reach. But you know, for his fighting style to be a little different, that it made him even more unique. You know what I mean? Skin tone 7. You know, here you go, baby. He was a very unique fighter, though, man. Joe Louis, man. He was very technical. He was a technician with his hands, and he fought very conservative, and he was a technician, and it was very cool, man. Especially in his fight with Max Schmeling or whatever. I can't pronounce his name, but let's get on the tats. Let me show you about these real quick before we bounce. Like I said, guys, sorry if I sound sluggish. I just had a long day. By the way, pray for my grandfather. He's been really sick. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've been back and forth a little bit there, you know, and here and doing my, you know. So just pray for him. He raised me, him and my grandmother. So, you know, I'm a grandparent's boy. So, but let's see what I got this for. I think this is for his head. Yeah, just filling his hair. I use shapes 1 just a little bit, not all shapes though. If I was y'all, I would use the Critters font 9 and go around and just fill it in. I filled in as many as you can. Just put them everywhere. You see, reason why is because you see those little curls at the end, and it makes it look like real hair. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to make it completely dark either. What I would do is I would go and I would fill it in and make it look realistic, you know, like African Americans' hair, especially buzz cut. You see how I got not too many like spots, like little light spots in the hair, like right here. Oh, that's on the other side. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I filled it in everywhere. Back here. But like right here. See how it's got a few light spots? That looks like real hair, man. Now, I know I need to go back and shape it up just a little bit. I'm going to go do that. But I'm just showing you the basics. Now, you see duplicate at the bottom of the screen. Like if you got a PlayStation 4 L3. If you click that, it'll copy. Like say if I post right here, right? Like right there. I just posted right there. Now, if you click duplicate, it'll paste another one right on top of it. So you could either fill them in, like make something darker and shade it in like that, and just move it over to where you want it, so you don't have to keep clicking on it and then going to another slot and going all the way and moving it where you know what I mean. But like I said, don't make it too dark, like, cause you know those little curls, you need to make them show a little bit at the end. Now I don't have the hairline looking all crazy and nothing like that, but y'all know what I mean. Now I did it all the way up to 27, I believe. Yeah, all the way up to 27. So I filled them in. What I would do is fill them in with the Critters font first, and then put light circles, light shapes, because you know those pitch black shapes. I even use this, man, on the side. I used it for the sides, I think. Yeah, I used it for the sides. That's Critters font 10. I even use those. I just picked many different shapes, man, that have like a swirl to it to give it like a hair kind of look. You know what I mean? And y'all know I always put these little body belts, man, on there, man, for like the boxers wear them. I don't know why I got burgundy on there. I'm gonna actually move that. I'm gonna move that about to right there, cause I don't think he had no burgundy on. And what I'm gonna do is this. This is what I'm gonna do. Duplicate. I'm gonna move this right here. I would put Everlast right there. Cover the belly button up and put Everlast right there, but they don't. So that's how I got it looking, and I got it like that in the back. Now that's just me. You guys don't have to add that, but oh yeah, let me go back. Nah, babe, I'm cool. You see on shapes 181, if you guys look up below the eyes, you can add those, but fill them in lightly. because it'll give it like say it'll make smile. You can make smile lines. You can actually make a person look aged. And like I said, that duplicate button, you copy it. That way you can press another one on the other side. You see how I got it right there on the other side? It makes it look like he got like that little bag under his eyes. Because if you look at a picture of him when he was around that age, he kind of had that, you know, under his eyes. And I meant to put a couple on his, like one on his forehead too. But you guys, man, there's little things you can do to like spicing it up. And that's little things that I do to spicing it up. Just showing you I went with the basic black. I should have went with the black ones, man, but I don't know. I just went with the Muay Thai. I should have went with the black ones. I may change it back to the black ones. Oh, why is he in? Huh. I may change it back to the black ones. I don't know, the black boxing ones. Maybe, but you know, their trunk length back in those days was short. And the Kempo gloves, I use the Kempo gloves. I've mentioned those in my other videos because they got that like old school rustic brown look color. Like, you know, like a dark brick red, but it's like almost brown and muddy and cruddy looking. Like, and their gloves were a little bit different looking back in the day. So I got those on all the boxers from the era and like from 1950 or 40 on down and things like that. Yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoy it, and thank you for stopping by, checking it out. Sorry, I sound all blur and I take forever. You know, you can always fast forward through, I understand, but I apologize for doing that, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, thank you for stopping by. Until next time, yo, y'all be easy, cuz y'all see easy. You know, love y'all. Coast boy. You know.
All right, let's get you some replays now. Certainly a lot for our replay guys to work with in the truck. This was a clinic tonight in terms of mixed martial arts.